Welcome back to the Kosi Yasna podcast. My name is Kosi. We'll come back to a brand new video. We have a crisis, but regardless of whether you are in a crisis or not, football continues, and Arsenal have to take on Inter Milan in the UEFA Champions League. Now, I want to say, I don't think we have actually fared poorly in the UEFA Champions League. I don't think that the performances have been, eye-watering, but I also think that we've done enough. We've just done enough. You've beaten Shakhtar Donetsk with a clean sheet against Atalanta that actually secured a point. And then, of course, beating PSG 2-0 with a clean sheet as well. So Arsenal is one of those clubs that have not conceded a single goal in the UEFA Champions League. We've played 3 games. That is a total of 9 points, and we've collected 7. And we're playing Inter Milan, a team that I think is going to give us a real test at a time where, we are really struggling. But I think the question I want to pose to you in this video: what is Arsenal's best 11 right now? I don't know. I mean, everyone seems to be like 50% fit, 30% fit. I just heard the Norwegian national team manager saying they have enough evidence that Martin Odegaard is okay to go for the next, international break. And I'm like, what is this guy even talking about? We miss Odegaard. If he was okay, don't you think that Arsenal, with all our struggles, amidst all our struggles, we would actually play our captain? So what is our best 11? How should Arsenal set up against Inter Milan? And I think the question is, what is the result that we want in this game? I mean, after 2 very, very bad results in the Premier League, now you have to play Inter and Chelsea, and then the international break. So that means that if it goes wrong with Inter and Chelsea, you have to wait until the 26th of November. That is when you play Nottingham Forest, and then we play, we play Nottingham Forest, and then we play Sporting Lisbon in the Champions League. So this game is so crucial and very important to every player in this squad, to Mikel Arteta. And amidst the rumors and the scuffle and the scandals of Edu leaving, we must deliver and we must perform. So this is my best 11 that Arsenal should put out there against Inter Milan. Quality side. When we talk about quality in Europe, when we talk about quality, the quality teams that Arsenal are going to play this season, Inter are among those. Now in goal, I don't know, has David Raya declined a little bit as compared to, prior to the first and second international break? Maybe not. The thing is, when the team is performing poorly, it is very, very hard for you to, point out good performers. For example, right now at Arsenal, it's very hard for me to say, ABCD is performing well. I don't think David Raya is necessarily and particularly playing poorly, but I think the results don't actually give us a platform to say he's been good or this well. But David Raya has been one of our best performers this season. There's no question about that. We're going to play a team that has a very good attacking firepower, a very good midfield, the likes of Hakan Çalhanoğlu, the likes of Henrik Mkhitaryan, Lautaro Martinez, Thuram. It's a team that can score. It's a team that can create. And of course, you look at the likes of DiMarco, giving them that kind of, width in the wide areas. It's a dangerous team. So opportunities are going to come. Andrea is going to be on, he's going to need to be on his best. One, if he wants to continue his UEFA Champions League clean sheet run, which is actually impressive so far, because the likes of Barcelona have conceded, the likes of Bayern have conceded, the likes of Madrid have already conceded, but we have not, and that's impressive. And maybe it's a positive for us to continue grinding on in the Champions League. So for me, Raya, one of our best performers, he's got to have a good evening if we're going to have a result in that game. At left back, Ricardo Calafiori might not be readily available, so I think it's going to be Julian Timber. My problem I have with Timber is one, and you cannot blame him for this. He's good, but the injury is still affecting him. I mean, he's playing 70 minutes, he's playing 60 minutes, and rightly so. If you have suffered from a long-term ACL, you're not expected to come back and become, this superhero player right away. It's going to take some time. You're going to have to, step on the grass a little bit more cautiously. But the problem is we don't have a reliable left back now. Calafiori is injury prone. I don't know how we signed him, knowing that Tomiyasu is injury prone. Lewis Kelly is young, and Alexander Stenko is a trash can of a defender. So it's gonna be a Timber, and in this game, Timber is gonna have to be very, 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 very good on top of his game, and we know how good he is, because with Inter Milan, I mean, whether it's Fratesi or it's Zelinski, it doesn't matter. They've got the quality on that front line to deal with you. So, Timber at left back, I don't think we have an option. I don't think we even have, other options. Ben White at right back. Now, Mikel Arteta, for God's good sake, right? Why don't you play your best players in their best positions? Like, Ben White has shown that if you played him at centre back, he's a bit of a ticking time bomb as compared to when you play him at right back. So why do you play Partey there? Partey is arguably, with Rodri injured now, the Premier League's best DM. Why don't you play him in that DM? Like, are you trying to create space for Mikel Merino? You don't have to. Mikel Merino has absolutely done nothing to convince me and you and anyone else that Arsenal must create space for him. No, we must not create space for him. In fact, our midfield three should be Partey, Rice, and Trossard, and then Merino could come in as a utility player. It's the end of the story. If Odegaard was here, would Merino start? No. I don't think he starts ahead of Trossard. I don't think he should start ahead of Ethan Nwaneri. So don't create space for him. Don't play Partey at right back. It will be disastrous. You don't want Partey against DiMarco. DiMarco is a freak. Like, he is an absolute powerhouse of a fullback. You don't want to see him take on Thomas Partey. He's not Luis Diaz. Now, at centre back, presumably, both of our centre backs will be around. I really don't think we have any options. If they're available, William Saliba and Gabriel, they should be playing. Now, one of our biggest strengths last season in all competitions, one was the ability to keep our players fit almost all the time. But those two, Gabriel and Saliba. Saliba is so calm off the ball that even in risky moments, you expect him to save the situation. Gabriel, highest scoring defender, for a while now in Europe. Ever since he came from Lille, he's been, on an upward trajectory. He's now becoming a leader, in this team. He's a bully. He's got that mentality. He's got that physicality. He loves the team. He loves the game. What can I say about Gabi? But the message I want to send to Gabi and Saliba, and what we are going to see this Wednesday, both of them are going against a different animal in Lautaro Martinez. Now, the Lautaro Martinez at Inter Milan is very different from the Lautaro Martinez for Argentina. I mean, recently he did win them the Copa de Americana. But what I want to say is Saliba and Gabriel have to know that they're going to go against elite size, elite level. Lautaro Martinez is elite level. I wonder how Arsenal have focused on getting a striker, and we've never focused on getting Lautaro Martinez. In Marcus Thuram, you have a player who is so good at, being that second striker. I would say, if Lautaro Martinez doesn't score, you might find yourself 3 goals down, and there is a hat trick. And that is Marcus Thuram scoring a hat-trick. So we've got to be very careful. This centre-back pairing, I trust them. There's no question about that. I've never woken up on the wrong side of my bed or on the right side of my bed or in the middle and said, I don't trust this centre-back pairing. I do trust them, and I think they will do a job on Lautaro Martinez and Marcus Thuram. Not going to be any easy one, but um, we've got to do it. Now, for me, like I said, my midfield three doesn't change. I don't know why Mikel Arteta loves this, gambling thing. But if you have Partey and he's fit, and you have Declan Rice and he's also fit, right? That is your pillar in midfield, especially with that Martin Odegaard. And then you have Trossard for me. I wouldn't go with Merino. I don't think he's got the creativity like that we need. If you cannot play Trossard, then it's better to play Ethan Nwaneri. It's much better to play Ethan Nwaneri. Now, our midfield, again, like I said with the centre backs, our midfield is going to be going against what I would call a decent midfield, right? We are going against a proper midfield, a proper set of midfielders. So at times they play with Hakan Çalhanoğlu there, and then Henrik Mkhitaryan, in that team too, and then Barella, right? So you think about Barella, I don't think we have a number 8 that is as good as Barella. And I've said this before. I think it's like 3 years now. The Arsenal should have gone, closed their eyes, and got Barella. One of the best for me in that position, like really one of the best in that position. So you're dealing with Barella, and you're also dealing with 2 number 10s that are aging like fine wine. That is Hakan Çalhanoğlu and Henrik Mkhitaryan. That's a proper team. That's a proper team. That's a proper midfield. And when I think about this Arsenal team struggling with at Leicester City, struggling with Southampton, and Southampton taking the lead, we've got to be extra careful. I don't think Inter Milan are going to give us any licenses. They will come to destroy. If they smell blood, they're going to go for the kill. So this would be our midfield. I think it's a little bit decent. I would prefer Ethan Nwaneri there because Trossard. I mean, if we talk about Trossard just a little bit, I've not been convinced for a while now. I think since the Manchester City game, I don't think I've been convinced that Trossard deserves to start games. And if I'm Mikel Arteta, I think the best thing to do is get Trossard his best moments, which is 70 minutes, 80 minutes, and let Ethan Nwaneri start. I think Ethan Nwaneri is a hard worker. I think he's young and his mentality is right. I think we've seen it. I'm not saying that Mikel is wrong not to play Ethan Nwaneri because Nwaneri is young. What I'm trying to say is give him a chance. Let's see what he can do. As simple as that. Then the front line. This front line, we might as well keep it blank. But we can't. It's the rules of the game. So Saka, up top. Not really up top, but on the right wing. Obviously, Havertz. Again, Havertz is another player that has kind of been underwhelming for me. And he started well, and his games, his performances are not that bad, but I just don't feel it. So Saka, Havertz, and maybe Martinelli. Maybe Martinelli. I think that's it. That's the best we've got. Martinelli, Saka, and Havertz. And one thing I want to say about this front three is we need to see more. That's the one thing I want to say about this front three. We need to see more. We need to see more from Kai Havertz. We need to see more from Martinelli. And we need to see more from Saka. Now, Saka suffered this injury, that knock, that Arsenal have, with no doubt, rushed him out of. And the repercussions will be there. And the repercussions will be dire. But right now, we need him. So, the front three, again, when you think about Inter Milan's defense, I think Bellanova, Bastoni, Di Marco, Damian, fairly decent. And the goalkeeper there, I'm just forgetting his name. God, I'm just forgiving. Jan Sommer is a decent goalkeeper, like a decent shot stopper. So Inter Milan are quite a solid block. They're quite a good block. Can Arsenal beat them? Yes, we can. But it's gonna take more than what we saw against Newcastle. It's going to take more than one shot on target in a game that you need to win. It's gonna take more than bringing on Zinchenko and Ben White when you need a goal. It's going to take better substitutions, better mentality. It's gonna take, it's going to need to be better in every department, in every decision, in every step of the way. That is my starting 11. The preview will be dropping shortly. Mikelata's press reaction and the team news will be dropping as well. And of course, we'll be talking transfers as well as we head into the January transfer window. Big up.